So we go to the next slide where we will tell you what are we going to cover today. Social entrepreneur. We have been talking about entrepreneurship, but there is something like social entrepreneurship, and we will hear from ma'am what it is, understand what it is. And this is something about a lot of us after retirement, we want to do something towards the community, something for the people who are maybe less privileged than us, who we think we can make a difference in their life. So that is something we can do with different kind of activities, and we will get to know from this session today. And we can become a change maker by involving ourselves in the community service or in the social growth. So we can stop sharing the slide here. And ma'am, a warm welcome to you once again. And I'm going to actually read your some of your introduction part. And Mrs. Meenal Mandlik, she has been a professional. Actually, she was a banker by profession and worked for more than 24 years in State Bank of India, one of the very renowned banks in India. She sought a voluntary retirement in July 2007, and with a sole desire of working towards community development. She joined that's group of disabled, God's Gift, that was in Thane earlier, which is a branch of the NGO called MBA Foundation, as a volunteer in August 2007. It is a vocational center come sheltered workshop for the differently abled youngsters. Thus began her fruitful journey towards her passion. She did the rehabilitation, she did a course, certificate course on disability management from Rehabilitation Council of India to get acquainted with various types of disabilities. Next, she completed her diploma in social entrepreneurship from Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad, in order to help the NGOs become self-sustainable. Her main goal was to provide occupation and livelihood for the differently abled people. Self-Esteem Foundation for Disabled was launched on the 9th of April 2011. In fact, last year, we would have had Meenal ma'am talking to us on this platform, but she had some personal commitment, and we did invite the Self-Esteem Foundation director who was with us, and Meenakshi ma'am spoke to us about the God's Gift institution. So we're going to talk and take a look at the journey that ma'am has had during this session. A lot of us might be wanting to know what is social entrepreneurship. So how would you define that? How would you want to?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bindraji, for welcoming me, and a great warm welcome to all those participants in this for this session. And going back to your question, what is a social entrepreneur? See, I would say, for a person like me who has been working with bank and all that, I've evolved as a social entrepreneur. You can say I'm an accidental social entrepreneur, because I was working with a bank, and then all of a sudden I decided that all of a sudden, it was a conscious decision that I should do for something for the community. And then when I started working as a volunteer for the cause. That was the time I slowly realized so many things that I could do. And then that is my evolution as a social entrepreneur. If I have to define a social entrepreneur, the social entrepreneur is somebody who makes positive changes in the society for special causes, and who explores opportunities to bring those changes to the society. There are, in fact, broadly, if I have to classify, there are 4 types of social entrepreneurs. One is the community as social entrepreneur, where, we work for a small community, their basic needs. It's a small geographical area that the entrepreneur addresses to. Then there is a non-profit social entrepreneur, which I do. What is the cause which I relate is non-profit social entrepreneur, where we are incurring profits, but then it is all plowed back into the service or the cause that I'm working for. I don't take any part of that profit. In fact, I work voluntarily. Then there is a global social entrepreneur, wherein they address global causes, that is Bill Gates Foundation and all that. They address poverty, big issues, education, poverty, some diseases, water problems, and that is one more. And then there is a transformational social entrepreneur. Here, those entrepreneurs, they try to address those areas of the social part, wherein the government or the other businesses are not able to address. So they try to reform certain things. They have their own, they take up their own activities, and they set up the organization in such a way that after some time they get integrated into a business, which is a government business. So that is the other transformational entrepreneur. So broadly speaking, these are the four entrepreneurs, and somebody like me who is an accidental social entrepreneur. So that I would say is
Yeah, that's so nice to know a lot more detail about this, because like you just mentioned about how you got into it. I must make a mention here that a lot of our learners in the last 1 year plus that I have been talking and meeting up virtually with our learners, there have been many people who have retired and they want to do something, because not everybody wants to take up something full time. But yeah, they feel they have the time and they would like to. Of course, pandemic took away a lot of our facilities of going
yeah.
out and things like that. So excuse me. So then, people said, how could I can make a difference to the community. There are people who want to do something towards the environment, people who want to teach underprivileged children, whatever little they can do. So they have their way of doing it. But by having this talk with you, ma'am, we are getting a broader outlook of, if one wants to really spend, maybe 2-3 hours a day or 3 days in a week or something like that, they can do. And not necessarily all the kind of activities have to be by going there physically every time. I think there could be things that one can sit at home and do, or help them in whichever manner according to the skills that they have. You think so?
Sure. See, when I began as a social entrepreneur, I worked, like you said, I worked with State Bank of India for 25 years, about 25 years. And then even there, I used to get involved in so many social activities wherever possible, in whichever platform I could get, I used to participate there. And then, I retired on 31st July 2007. And right from 1st August 2007, I joined the MBA Foundation. It's a God gift. I feel the center was called God's gift. And I felt I was God sent there. God had given me that thing. And I didn't sit even one day at home. I was right next day, I was working with those differently abled gods there. And maybe it was my destiny that I do that work there. And when I did that, somebody like me who has no social background or something like that, I started working as a volunteer. And you won't believe, while working as a volunteer, I started what was the best thing that I could do for that center. Then, be having a banking background, I started doing accounts, then some admin job, some computer job, whatever possible, whatever I felt was easy for me that time, I started doing. Then I was also interacting with this differently abled children. I earlier had some this thing, because some of my family members were in differently as teaching in differently able school. I had an access to them, so I had some idea about them. Then I thought I should be friends with them. So it was not easy. They don't accept that fast, or they try to gauge your this thing also, that how friendly you are and what is your type. So I started learning music and harmonium. Then I used to carry that harmonium to the center and do music with them. I used to dance with them. So whatever possible, I could have that comfort with them. I developed that comfort. And then while doing that activity, I got attached to them. Attached in a way, they used to do so many things. I used to see their hard work, the teachers and the volunteers, everybody trying to do some products here and there. And then there used to be some sympathy buying. So people used to come from somewhere and then buy something and then go. Then, but most of it is to lie as inventory. That the time I felt that this is not the thing that should happen. there should be something that I can do. And I felt I could do because I had got a lot of social contact, banking background, so many friends here and there. So why can't people buy these things instead of buying from the market? How can I reach these people? How can I sell this? So that process I got, that was a thought behind this, that I want to make these people self-sufficient, or they should earn something from it. They should not just come and do something and go. See, when you start doing an activity, like you said, some people must be doing gardening and whatever. When you start involving the activities, you get into that process. And when you get into the process, you start thinking, what is the better thing than I can do for this? What is the better thing I can do for this? See, I did not have a social entrepreneurship background at that time. I didn't know anything, but I felt that I could do this thing one step. I could take this one step ahead. I could take this one step ahead. So that was I streamlined many of the accounts processes. I streamlined thoda sa marketing. I went out and started doing marketing. I used to take the children with me, attend with some exhibitions and all that, teach them how to sell their products. So these small things are there, which I think most of us have been doing these things even now, because we don't know it is social entrepreneurship or what, that is a name given to that. But these are small things that we do. And if we really think about it, if it is a desire, we can go ahead with all these activities.
I like the way you said you learned music, you learned to play harmonium and things like that. So a lot of us, as we are here also on GetSetUp platform, all of us are learning something new with every topic every session that we attend. We share our knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge sharing that happens, and we are ever open to learn new things. So anything that comes in your way, like people going for some plantation or working with some, wildlife or clean up kind of thing, we go with our brooms and clean and do anything
Right.
that comes. Then we don't wait to see if this is not my job and I have been in a big position, so I can't be doing that. So I think
Exactly.
it brings you down to earth, and it definitely makes you feel good, and you would want to do something because it's the way that you want to give back to the society.
Sure, yeah.
So you talked about your role, and you said that you started with them as a volunteer. You help them with their accounting, and then I know you've been doing a lot of marketing and bringing that NGO, that institution, to a level where it's been recognized by people. Why? I mean, I think I shouldn't be wrong if I say internationally also, because I think in 2018 or 17 there were some international projects that you got orders for your people. So that was lovely to know. Now, when you have this kind of, you get involved in this, it's like a no-profit organization, not-for-profit organization. So how does the funding come? How does one go around raising the funds?
In this case, now like my organization, Self-Esteem Foundation for Disabled, it's a social enterprise, or in our terms, we say it's a company under Section 25 Act of 1956, wherein we work as a private limited company. We have got a board of, our Self-Esteem has got 5 board members. We have got shareholders, about 30-40 shareholders. And then we have raised the capital with the shares, right? But the other way of this thing is marketing. The other way of fundraising is marketing the products. We don't go on for donations and all that. In fact, we are not supposed to take. When I say social enterprise, I means that I should talk of self-sustenance. Because if I go to that donation part, I will again be an NGO. So trying to not be an NGO is something that is social enterprise. So then fundraising is basically through the shareholding, and most of it is through marketing. So that is that is the way we raise our funds.
So make them self-reliant, and also the in-habs also feel they have an individual entity.
Exactly. The cause, see, it is not only funds, the cause why I'm doing this, that is a life with self-esteem for differently able. That is the main cause, or what is the mission of my organization. So when doing entrepreneurship, I should not miss that cause. I should not just be an entrepreneur. That's a very thin line that there's so many temptations that people tell me, why don't you sell this? Why don't you sell that? There's so much profit. But then I always say, why? I will not sell that. I will sell what these people make. Otherwise, there's no point. I go and sell mangoes. I go and sell dry fruits. I may get a profit margin. I make my children do that, sell, go to the exhibition, put. People may do some sympathy buying. But then the total purpose or the total cause is defeated by doing that type of marketing. So it's very important that I stick to my cause or my mission, what for life of self-esteem and dignity. Yeah.
So now you are attached to this established NGO, but there might be some people who just want to get started with smaller um, uh, associations or smaller kind of institutions, or just maybe groups. There are people like, I know in Tata Institute of Social Sciences, they connect them with different underprivileged children, or the destitutes and those kind of children. So if one wants to work with that kind of group, would they also have to go through some course?
Not necessary, because when I joined, or there are so many people working here with us also as volunteers, you don't have to have some course, but definitely we're working with differently able children is not easy, because yeah, if they're physically challenged, okay. If they're speech and hearing impaired, then even then okay. If visually impaired, okay, but mentally challenged or intellectually challenged, it's not easy. So it is better if you learn something, like I did a diploma in the course. So if you do something, you try to learn. There is an RCI course which is open to so many volunteers. If you have to work with challenged people, there is an RCI course. It's some weekly course. You have to do some hours of course, and then you're exposed to all these types of NGOs and whatever way you want to, in whichever field you want to do. So you can do that course, and then you'll get fairly good knowledge of whatever field you choose.
Because this is a special need, and
Exactly. Because it took me almost 4 years. I worked as a volunteer to really understand and really stand out and think what I can do. After that, I got that confidence that I could start with an be a new social enterprise, that is so self-esteem. Because it is not easy. It is not at all easy. It was very challenging. At least for me, it was very challenging. I just didn't want to start something and then stop it. So that was, yeah. So
no, from, I mean, I've been seeing you since quite some time, and you are really very actively connecting with people to showcase this institution and bring these children, or the in-hands of the institute in various forms, be it a performance evening or their annual day, or showcasing their products that they are making, the jute bags or the handicrafts and all that they're making. So tell us something about the team that works behind that.
Yeah, see, Self-Esteem Foundation as a frontline team, I would say, for marketing and awareness programs. Yeah, I've got six staff members. They're working. Of them, four are differently abled and two are able-bodied. And all these four of them have been involved in activities of marketing, inventory management, accounts, and delivery. So all the aspects they are touching, and they are differently able, going out there and marketing their own thing. The exhibitions that are being conducted, they attend. Earlier, I used to be with them, but now they are totally independent. They themselves manage all the exhibitions and all that. See, and this is a direct team, but then indirectly, what Self-Esteem Foundation does, I will tell you what's the uniqueness of Self-Esteem Foundation. Now, we have taken MBA Foundation under our wing, like you say, and there what we do is we give them raw material to make products. So this raw material that is given to make products, and basically we are telling them to make saleable products. We give teachers the training, or forever the students, we arrange for the training program. We call for trainers from outside and teach them to make different products. Every year we do that, so that we enhance the products. And then these products, again, we are marketing. So Self-Esteem is giving raw material and again taking those products from them and marketing the product. In this bargain, the children there, they're getting their stipends, which conversion cost we give to the children. So they're getting that their stipend, as well as some are getting their salaries as per their capacity. So they are also earning. So directly, if I would say if I have got 6 staff members, indirectly I have got 200 members who are getting salary or stipend because of this, because of Self-Esteem Foundation.
And if I may say so, some people like we have, senior, older adults here on GetSetUp. So similarly, I think you said that you get trainers or you get people to teach them these skills. Because I've seen the center, there are people who teach them the craft, there are people who teach them yoga and painting and cooking and those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I think retired people can also step forward to contribute, and they can also get something in return.
Exactly. See, even if you are doing something voluntary, we can just pay them at least for the conveyance, whatever they're incurring or any cost, out of pocket expenses. We do pay them because people say we are doing voluntary, but we don't want to put the burden that they are coming as it is twice a week, thrice a week. But we definitely do pay them out of pocket if they are insist. Yeah, even if they don't insist, we offer. But then sometimes they say, no, it's okay. We can
because
manage.
they're also something, they get that satisfaction of giving back to the community, because there are a lot of people say, oh, I want to do so much, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So even going and teaching them to make some snacks or some painting or craft work also is some
kind of even for exactly. Even when going for exhibitions, we require volunteers because sometimes there are 2 exhibitions a day. We are just 6 staff members, so we have to just rush or somebody. We have to call somebody. So there are people who can just volunteer and go for exhibitions. When they can choose their area, that if there are exhibition in this area, I will come and volunteer with the children. Like you can make do billing or take cash or whatever, in whatever way they can help. They can help. Also, even in the office, we have a lot of inventory. So just helping to keep the stocks, maintaining the stocks, counting the stock, or working with the computers, reading the stock and all that. There is small jobs, but it requires just once a week or twice a week they come there and then they handle those things. So people, there are so many jobs. If somebody is interested, they can come to the center as per their liking or as per whatever they want. We can just try to fill in the gaps, like whatever they want to do.
This thought was on my mind when I was wanting to invite you. I said, we've been talking about the Startup Accelerator program and wanting our learners to become entrepreneurs. I mean, those who are inclined or those who have a dream to do something, but not necessarily everybody really wants, after their 50s or 60s, want to go through a lot of hard work or the strain of working 5 days a week or something like that, or 5 hours a day. So I thought when I'd invite you as a guest speaker and get to hear from you. So I'm sure there will be a lot of learners who can think of who are getting ideas that yes, they can approach any of the NGOs close to their location and try to help out, maybe even managing accounts or handling the administration, or giving them ideas about how they can make a better setup. And these kind of things also can be looked at as social entrepreneurship.
Yes, definitely.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Now that you've been in this field for so many years, do you ever think that I could have done something different and not been in this area?
Not necessarily. See, sometime, when I started, actually, when I was in the bank, I used to work for a girl child, like for women. Basically, I was working sometimes when Saturday, Sundays, wherever I used to work for a girl child. I had done some courses with police women. We used to go there and do out something with police women, and then some for some girls' schools and some orphanages and all that. I used to do that. But then, when I started working, I got totally involved because I was not very sure what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something. It was not decided what I should do, but I don't feel that now. There's no this thing, no looking back, because I feel now this is the thing that I wanted to do. Now, culturally, of course, I was into singing and dancing and all those things, but and even now I can continue with whatever I'm doing. So no regrets or no looking back now. Yeah. And so, see, working with special children is very, very satisfying, it has changed me as a person. A lot of patience and a lot of confidence, and I don't feel any fear or I will lose something or something. When you look at them, they're totally so they have got so much strength and they give you so much positive vibes. When I enter this center, madam, good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, so much there is noise, that when you enter your own house, nobody you put your latch key open, come in the house. There's nobody to welcome, but that welcome that I get when I enter there, that is so much overwhelming. What is that? It gives me new strength. It gives me so much strength, and I feel I should do more now. This is not done. I have to do more. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, no looking back for me. Yeah.
That's so nice, so nice. Keep doing the noble work that you have been doing all these years, and we have all our positive energies towards
Yeah.
you in your work. So, one question, ma'am, before we take on some, if there are some questions in the chat, or maybe we will give our audience an opportunity to ask something they want to. What do you describe your typical day as? When you are working with the institution? How would you describe your typical day? I know there are times when you have exhibitions and all, you are involved a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe full time.
Yeah.
But
right now, yeah, it has my schedule has changed a lot. Earlier, I had to give more time because it was setting up the organization and all that. We lost our chairperson who had founded the organization, C.R. Balasubramaniam, Mr. CRB sir. Actually, he was my inspiration or mentor for me to start this. So that time I had a lot of time. I had to give a lot of time there and do all those things. But in the meantime, I believe that you have to empower people. You just cannot. This was a learning for me that I know everything, but if I don't empower people, there's no use. Because if I sit at home for some reason, there should institution not close, or they should not take a step back or something like that. So that was the first thing that I started when we lost CRB sir, because we felt a big loss all of a sudden. It was very sudden, and then I didn't know what to do now. There were so many things that he used to, and he was a CA, so the accounts part and everything was totally handled. We used to just tell him, sir, this is a loss here, we are not doing this, and I used to manage so many things. But then all of a sudden, it was a very big this thing for me. I started learning, and that time I also learned that I have to empower people, more and more people, to take up different jobs. And right now, if you say, they're so much multi-talented, they take up all multitasking. So I don't have to be there all the time there. They just call me up on the phone, madam, this is the problem, that is the problem, this, whatever. Then we have our weekly meetings there. I go to the center around 11:30, and by 3:30, I'm back home. So I just have to spend few hours, and that too not every day. Yeah. Hello.
As the organization grows, delegation and empowerment is very important.
Exactly. Yeah. And we are also getting older with age. So I cannot, my husband at home, so there are some problems with health problems, issues. So my staying back should not affect the organization. So we have developed a system wherein from home also I can operate, where if it is actually needed, they come home. My staff also comes home. So we have sometimes meeting at home. They come home here if it is not possible for me to go there. And then I go twice a week. As of now, I go twice a week there compulsory. Otherwise, I manage from home. Yeah.
So if I would ask you for one last message to our learners or someone wants to take up this kind of entrepreneurship, what are the three characteristics you would suggest that one should have to get into such kind of entrepreneurship?
First important thing is the desire. You have to have that desire. Go getting. You have to have that desire. Also, you have to take risk. There are so many times that you really have to. You wonder, should I do this? Not, but then you have to take risk. You don't have to take very big risks. You have to judge for yourself that you will be able to take this. But risk taking is one more thing. Then you have to always you have to have that positive mindset. Even when I try to recruit people, I try to have people with rather that mindset towards the cause, rather than having the skills and degrees and all that, because I've taken people, qualified people also, but if they don't have that mindset to work with differently able people, it is not working. So you should have that mindset to work with differently abled, or whatever cause you choose, that you have to develop that mindset. So desire is one thing, risk taking is another thing, then your positive mindset, then you should be outgoing, and all those things come along. When you develop yourself as an entrepreneur, you start evolving yourself, and then there are so many skills that you take up on your own. You try to learn this, you try to learn that, so you try to fill in the gaps of whatever are left out. So for me, my desire was very strong that I should do that. So I always tell people that you have to have that desire to go. I will do this, and I have to do this. Confidence is there. One more thing that you should have. There are, say, people with working in different fields may have different way of looking at it. This is my way of looking at it. And these are my three things that I take up as challenges. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think one of the three characteristics you said, it goes in any area that you want to, the desire, the mindset, and the confidence that yes, you want to do it. I think that goes in any area of entrepreneurship that you do. And sometimes, especially when it comes to social entrepreneurship, people get impulsive or emotional and want to get started, but sustaining that for a longer time becomes difficult if you don't have the desire, have the mindset, and you're not confident of taking that. So very well said, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us. And I would invite, if there are any questions, I would request the learners to raise their hand, and Anurag can unmute them and maybe take up. So we still have 7 to 10 minutes if anyone wants to ask anything specific or share something in short related to social entrepreneurship, or something that you people are doing with institutions like that. While you were offline, ma'am, we did have Ruby and Renu Agarwal talk. Asha had raised her hand. So Asha, if you want to speak for a few seconds, for a minute or so, please unmute yourself and you can share. And if there are questions in the chat box, Anurag, please read them out to ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I am not able to see the chat. Asha, आपको कुछ कहना था?
Hello, is that
Asha Gala?
yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for a very motivating, inspirational talk. Like, okay,
Yeah, Renu will come back to you. Yes,
Sorry.
Asha.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Meenal ma'am.
Yes.
One thing is, I have been in this field, like, okay, working with specially challenged and all. I was a professor and NSS program officer. So from 1971 onwards, I've been there.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
So just the background. I wanted one feedback question is, when it comes to marketing of the products made by specially able children, there are sometimes issues about the quality, price, because ultimately the customer does compare, how much ever you try to make that awareness, these are special. So is there a very systematic method in which you do costing, pricing, marketing, as a part of the enterprise for these people, and empower them even to think of it? For example, finding the substitute raw material or a market where they can sell, etc.
Yeah.
If time permits, I will share one or two things in a minute, but that is, the question is for you. Thank you so much.
See, it's really very challenging. Marketing is not easy. It's very challenging. Like you rightly said, people compare the prices. For us, marketing goes along with awareness. So wherever we have to do marketing, first we have to do is awareness that this product, and awareness of what? The capabilities of a differently able, rather than some sympathy buying of a disabled. This is done by disabled, so I am buying. So we don't promote that. We say these are the capabilities. This is done with pride. We try to tell them the value of the product rather than the cost of the. We tell them, see, you see the value of this product. So I'll tell you a small example, ma'am. Now that you have brought up, we make we don't make agarbattis, but we sell agarbattis or incense sticks, what you call. This incense sticks, there are 5 people working on it. Like one is counting. One person can only count 10 number of sticks. One will put it in the packet. One will put it the stick those things. One will put staple, then label them. So that 4-5 people together, they come and do this thing. So it is no, it is not a single person job. Me or you doing maybe a single person job, but for them it is a group. It is a group activity. And when a person comes to buy, they say, tell us, कि अरे ये तो 30 रुपए में मिलते हैं, आप लोग 35 में बेच रहे हैं, 5 रुपए. Then I have to make that person aware the worth. What is the value of that? I said, ये 5 रुपए आप जो ज्यादा बेचते हो, whatever 5 rupees more you feel you're spending, 1 rupee each goes to those 5 children who are doing that. See, when I talk like this language, they really see the worth of value addition. I said, you're buying this product, you're adding value to that product. And when you're gifting, that is more value to it. If you're buying from market and gifting, just gifting it, but when you're buying from an NGO and gifting that product, there is a value addition to that. So if you make people, you have to make people understand the value, his value as a buyer, and the value of that product made by my children. If somebody tells me gives discount, I said, please don't ask discounts. It is not overvalued. We are not selling double the price or something. 5 rupees, I agree, because there is a lot of wastage. There are so many things. Costing, she has also asked me about the costing. The costing is, again, so we try to see the market, what's the cost in the market. And then the products, whatever we are doing right now, are as good as in the market. And we are able to sustain that price. We are not increasing prices just because we are doing it. We are trying to make such products where we can sustain the quality and the price as compared to the market. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I have a lot to
Thank you
share.
for your
Yeah. Definitely. We can talk. We can always share, because I really like to talk with people who are more experienced and have been working in this field.
Right. Okay.
No.
So we
It's always nice. It's always nice.
Yeah, we can take 1 or 2 more questions. We have
Yeah.
Anurag, is there anyone who is waiting to ask or talk?
No, ma'am.
Somebody has asked RCI. What is the full form of RCI?
Yes. What is the long form of
Rehabilitation
RCI?
Council of India. It's Rehabilitation Council of India.
And they are asking that who conduct this course.
It's done in Delhi. I can give the details. Right now, I don't have the details, but it is has a base in Delhi. If you can Google it, you will know. It is done by. It is from Delhi, the Delhi-based organization.
The RCI you were talking.
Yeah, Rehabilitation Council of India. It's a government this thing.
That's it, ma'am.
So thank you so much, ma'am. If there are no more questions, I think you did definitely do justice by sharing the kind of background you have come from and what is required to handle the kind of NGOs you are working with. So there is, especially for the specially abled people, they have special needs. So you need to equip yourself with some courses that can help you go a longer way. Similarly, when people are working in another social kind of community kind of work, they can, I think, just give whatever time they feel comfortable giving and getting the satisfaction by contributing towards that.
They should make a start. You make a start and then you are into it. There is always this thing that, can I do this? Should I do this? There are too many questions people keep on asking themselves. But I think if you are really good, just make a start. Just go somewhere and start doing something. You'll realize that no, this, not this, then I do this, not this, I do that. So many options that are there. So, and society needs people who really want to do something for them. So we should do it wherever possible, whichever way possible. Even if you buy our products, you are helping us. Even if you are buying the products, make by differently, you're adding value to that.
Thank you, everyone. And with this, we come to the end of the session.